Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The question that if in chronology Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi was the first one, and then Imam Malik rahmatullahi, and then Imam Shafi rahmatullahi, and then Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal rahmatullahi. So doesn't it behove that we should be sticking to the latest one, which is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal? He perhaps is going to be most up to date with having all the hadith and everything compiled thereby. I should have access to all of that and perhaps will be able to come up with the better rulings. So the answer to that is that it would have been okay to conclude that if whatever was decided by the Imams prior to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was stagnant, means that was one of opinion and has been written, and then someone else has written something else and updated it a bit later. But that's not the case. That's not the case. The case is that Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Imam Ahmad, they all had written their methodology and they have given opinions and based on Quran and Sunnah in their times, and their students after students they continued to follow that, they continued to upgrade it based on the evidences collated afterwards. So this is an ongoing process which is even today is still being actively looked at. Given the circumstantial changes, the situation gets changed and people or the mujtahid of the times would look at the methodology and apply the same rules and come up with a different ruling. Sometimes even taking the fatwa of some other imams to fit the situation better. Sometimes due to the fact that it is too difficult to act on that particular fatwa, which was not um, based on a very strong evidence, or it was based on very strong evidence, yet there's a leeway, and due to circumstantial changes, it has to be changed. Remember, this is not changing the Sharia text, rather taking the rules out of it, which is built on several different issues. You have to consider so many different issues around it. For example, during the time of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, someone stole something. He was brought forth and it was discussed, but it was found out that he actually stole a piece of bread for the dying children in the house. So obviously, although he did steal and the punishment for that is established from Quran actually, but in this case, it was during a famine. It was for life-saving food item and a very small, simple something. He was exempted from this punishment. So there's a principle based on the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-mashaqqatu tajlibu taysir. So when there is affliction, trial, difficulties, hardships, then one has to ease it out. So mujtahid of the times role is to look at all the ruling, all the issues around it, and then come up with the best possible solution for the given circumstance. So that's still evolving, still happening even today. So what has been established is the methodology that stays, and based on those principles, you apply different ruling to different situation. And it is true for many other sciences as well. For example, in medicine, we give different prescription to a different individual. It is individually tailor made. It is not one size fits all. So that doesn't happen actually. So back to the question, if it was that Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was the latest and the previous Imams have left whatever they have left and there has been no upgrades on those, then yes. But the practical example of that is, so if iPhone latest one has been released say in December, so shouldn't the new Samsung you know, get the best option, which is just come say in February or coming in February. No, because iPhone has not stopped doing upgrades. Likewise, Samsung hasn't done the same, so vice versa. I'm not in favor of any of the other. All I'm saying is just the if it was that they've done and dusted and moved on, then yes, but that's not the case. In fact, there is even a another argument, which is the Imams who are closer to the time of Sahaba, especially Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah has actually seen and narrated few hadiths from Sahaba. His level of understanding and his connection with Sahaba and the students of Sahaba, likewise Imam Malik's connection with the students of Sahaba, is way higher than Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, for example. He hasn't even seen the students of Sahaba, he has seen people after that. And the Imams who come later on, they have not learned from even the students of the students of the students of Sahaba. So obviously they're coming a bit more diluted and down, but it doesn't affect anything negatively because ilm is ilm, they've still been preserved. But the piety aspect, that is why the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, khairu ummati qarni, best of the nation is my people, which is Sahaba. Then ثم الذين يلون, and those who come after them. ثم الذين يلونهم, and then those who come after them. So, and then obviously halumma jarra, this is how it carries on. So the people who are closer to the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tend to be better in many respects. That is not to say that their fiqh is always going to be better than the imams afterwards. No, they're all equal. They all have the qualification to do so, and they would do it, and they all have the respect and ability. So they're all, mashallah, equal in that sense. But so how do we decide which one to take, which opinion to take, which imam to follow? The one which is more accessible to you, the one you could get to know very easily, then you could find teachers to help you with, and that's it. Just go and stick to them. It's not about fatwa shopping. It's about what you. No one is better than the other. They're all equally good. So you just go for the one that is available to you. Living in UK, you don't go for American guidelines for TB treatment. God forbid if someone gets TB or cancer treatment, you just go for local guidelines, whichever is accessible to you. Living in Harlow area or in Redbridge area, you do not think about Leicester area or Birmingham area, what they have got their guideline. Their hospital has different guideline. You just stick to your local guideline. This is how we do in our day-to-day stuff. This is how we should be doing in Deen, because we do not have time to waste on all those nitty-gritty and details discussion and wasting time. Rather, going on to some actions, inshallah ta'ala. Will make it easy. I hope it clarifies.